Hello, welcome to the When I Have Spare Time podcast. My name is Frank, and I'll be sitting here talking to you for a few minutes. As usual, I'm wearing clothes. I'm wearing a blue shirt with a dragon on it. Um, I'm a man of culture. We had another mass shooting a couple days ago. Now, if you remember, I think it was a couple of podcasts ago where I talked about mass shootings. And I believe I said we've had about 20 mass shootings, in the past 2 months. There's been a lot. The number probably changed. I gave the exact number a couple podcasts ago, but just for the sake of argument, it's been roughly 20 mass shootings in the past 2 months, okay? Anyway, and as you know, the reason why a lot of them don't get press is because a lot of them are gang related, meaning it's usually minorities killing other minorities, even though it's, pretty bad. You'll get a lot of people shot, a lot of people killed, but once again, it's minorities killing other minorities. So a lot of the statistics, the people who take the statistics don't count gang related um, mass shootings as mass shootings, even though it's a bunch of people, still get messed up. But because it's not newsworthy, it doesn't fit the message, doesn't fit the narrative, you know. But the other day, Peyton Gendron, he's an 18-year-old. He killed 10 people. He shot 13 in a Tops Buffalo supermarket. It's like I guess it's a store chain in Buffalo, New York. It's called Tops. He went to the supermarkets. He shot a couple of people outside the supermarket, then went inside the supermarket and shot some more. 11 out of the 13 people he shot were black. And apparently, this is a hate crime. They caught the guy. He had God, I believe it was like 100. Yeah, he had 180-page manifesto where he talked about the dwindling white population. Um, Apparently, the FBI had talked to him, I think like a year before. So once again, this is another case of someone who was already on a watch list. Go figure. But anyway, um, Peyton, because he's a teen, he's a Zoomer or whatever. He did his shooting, but he live streamed it on Twitch. His mass shooting was a Twitch live stream. Now listen, I normally turn on Twitch because Twitch is a hot tub gamer girl. You know, it's basically Twitch is like a soft core porn streaming service. Now I know what you're thinking. Wait, I thought Twitch was a video game streamer platform. Well, if you look at all the people streaming on Twitch, it's mostly women in hot tubs or women who are performing pseudo um, oral sex on ASMR microphones. Twitch is women sucking on ASMR microphones or sitting in hot tubs doing squats. Like it's not a video game service. It's not known for video games anymore. It's basically a window for OnlyFans models to get viewers, and then they funnel those viewers to their OnlyFans accounts or whatever paid service accounts that they have. That's what OnlyFans is. Anyway, so this guy streamed his mass shooting on Twitch. So the mayor of New York is very mad, and she's blaming Twitch for this mass shooting. The mayor of New York is blaming Twitch for the 13 people shot, 10 people dead. She is blaming Twitch for this. She is also very angry that the video got to stay up for so long. For those of you that don't know, Twitch took the video down 2 minutes later. Yes, the video, the live stream that the guy took was up for 2 minutes. And so now and because of that, it's Twitch's fault that this happened, and she's, you know, typical Democrat is trying to change laws. Okay. The gun he used to do this mass shooting, it doesn't matter what kind of gun it was. The gun he used was a gun he obtained legally. It was a legal gun purchase. Okay. He purchased this gun legally in New York City. Oh, I'm sorry, in New York. I don't know if it was in New York City, but he purchased it legally in New York. And so you have people, Democrats, coming out publicly. We need to change more gun laws. We need to change video games. What do video games? There was a senator on CNN going, the reason why this mass shooting happened is because video games are so realistic now. What? For those of you that don't know, which anything I say, you can do your own research. Okay, there have been countless studies that that were trying to either prove or debunk. You know, just trying to figure out, is it true that video game violence equals real life violence? And all of those studies came up with the same results. No, there is no connection between video games and real life violence. So I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I guess we could do another study, but there've been dozens of studies. Does video game violence correlate to real life violence? And the answer is no. Okay. I don't know why every time something bad happens, we try to take away the rights of regular citizens. There's gang violence every day. Every day there's some kind of gang violence. Okay? There look at Chicago. I mean, every day there's a mass shooting in Chicago, and you don't hear one person trying to fix that situation because it's black people killing black people. Chicago is what the country wants because they let it happen. Okay? And also that doesn't fit the narrative, and no one's going to care about it because it just, the news media won't make a story about it. It gets ratings when a white guy does a public shooting. It just gets ratings. I don't know why. But anyway, first of all, the streamer awards, the Twitch streamer awards were a couple of months ago. I think Peyton Gendron should win Streamer of the Year. I I really think so. Anyone agree with me? No. And also, this is the second time in a month that someone live streamed their shooting. Anyone know that? Yes. The streamer of the year went to Ludwig. I don't know who Ludwig is, but you know what Ludwig didn't do? He didn't live stream his mass shooting. So I am now going to start a petition to take away Lud, Lud, LUD Ludwig's Streamer of the Year award for 2022 and give it to Peyton Gendron. Because Peyton Gendron live streamed his mass shooting. I can't name one Twitch streamer that did anything remotely close to that. Okay, so this guy was racist. He went to a supermarket in Buffalo in a black neighborhood, okay? Shot 13 people. 11 of those people were black. That is, for those of you that don't know, that is, let me tell you, hold on. That is 85% racist efficiency. Okay? 11 out of 13. That's 85% of racial efficiency. Okay? He didn't want to get those two white people. But you know what? In his mind, a white person associating with a black person in a black neighborhood might as well be black, but still doesn't count in the government's eyes. 85% efficiency. Can you believe that? Killed 10 people. 11 out of the 13 he shot were black. This was a public hate crime. And somehow he kept it to 85% efficiency. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. I'm just giving you the stats. Think of me as your news channel. He was wearing tactical gear. Okay, I mean, that makes sense. I guess if you're going to shoot a place up and you're taking it serious, I guess you're going to wear tactical gear, you know? I'm surprised they haven't blamed the tactical gear, you know? Because, you know, I like how they blame everything else except the real problem. Oh, so and he was using a assault rifle. I don't know. I don't know if that means anything to anyone. Here's the thing. He could have used any kind of gun. Like you can do a mass shooting with a pistol. You can do a mass shooting with a machine gun. You can do a mass shooting with an assault rifle. You could do a mass shooting with a sniper rifle. You could do a mass shooting with, I don't know, a rifle you made in your garage. See, in New York has some of the strictest, I think California and New York have the strictest gun laws. Okay? The strictest gun laws. So you can't blame the gun laws. You can't blame the gun itself. You know what you gotta blame? Well, first of all, you gotta blame the person who did the crime. That's whose fault it is. This is Peyton's fault. This is this is his fault. You can't blame the FBI who already knew about him. I mean, you could, but I don't know if you guys have been paying attention for the past 2 years. The FBI is not your friend. I mean, the Hunter Biden laptop, if that's not the final straw, if that's not the last, kick in the stomach that you need to realize that the FBI is not on your side, then I don't know what to tell you. How many of these mass shootings have happened where they were already on a watch list? Okay, the the government is watching people kill you. The government's not on your side. It had a 180-page manifesto about the dwindling of the white population. Um, I don't know the exact statistics because they might have changed, but correct me if I'm wrong. 70% of the American population is white. 70% of America's population is white. I don't understand, like, who said it's dwindling? Who said it's dwindling? If you have 70% of America's population is white, I don't understand. How is it dwindling? I mean, aren't those the official statistics? So, so either he's living in an area where white people are moving out and minorities are moving in, so he was basing all that on that, I guess. But you know, he's committing this crime under some false narratives. When I go outside, the most common race I see is white people. When I go into the city, it's mostly white people. That's how it is pretty much all over the place. I mean, unless you specifically move to an area that has a high concentration of a minority, like, if you go to a part where it's, where it's mostly Spanish people, mostly black people, if like, you have to seek those places out. And those are usually places of low income areas. So, like, if you're racist, like this guy, why are you hanging out in a place where there's a high concentrated population of minorities? That's going to totally throw your worldview off. Once again, his fault. If you're racist, this country has plenty of places you can live where you only see the race that you want to see. Plenty of spaces. The kid, was 18. Now I know I said the only person's fault is his fault, but I blame the parents. The parents have a big part um, to do with this. Name someone, any age, 18, 15, 45, 75, any age, okay? A person of all those ages does a mass shooting because they had bad parents. Good parents last a lifetime. You could be 80 years old. If you had good parents, you would not commit a mass shooting, whether it's racially motivated, politically motivated, socially motivated. You do not commit a mass shooting if you have or had good parents. From what I've seen, and the all these mass shooters that I've seen interviewed or actually got to know about their past, they all had one thing in common: bad parents. Just saying. How do you not know that your son has the potential to do this? And once again, I don't know much about, you know, a hardcore racist mind, the kind of person that would actually do this. But I'm just under the assumption that it's hard to hide, right? Or call me crazy. Isn't it hard to hide that you hate one particular nationality? So, if you have that much hatred for any type of person or, well, whatever, and you're 18, which means, you're still a kid living with your parents, wouldn't mom and dad be like, hey, maybe, maybe let's change the way you think so you can function in a multicultural society? This is totally the parents' fault. I mean, you should hear the way I talk around the house. Everyone knows what I don't like, but I'm a comedian. I met one class of person where my hate speech is part of the material. So, you'll never see me live stream a shooting of, well, you know, a particular race that makes up half the prison population. You'll never see me do that. I've I've turned my shootings into podcasts, and because I'm not a danger to society, but trust me, if I was, I I had the type of parents that would have seen the problem, and they would have fixed the problem. Because if you're a good person, whether you like society or hate society, if you're a good person, you don't want to see society fall. If you're a good person, it doesn't matter who you hate. You don't want to see the world burn if you're a good person. So if you have a child, and these parents know, if you have a child that has the potential to do something like this, you stop the child. You every parent can fix a child at that age, because like this didn't start at 17 when he first was questioned by authorities. This happened when he was like 13, 14, 15. That's where this hate started. And you're telling me the parents didn't know? The parents did know. The parents didn't care. This laissez-faire, let the children do what they want to do, like decide their own gender, is the reason why we have these problems. Parents have to be parents. But we keep having all these, I guess, societal pushes to, like, let kids make adult decisions. It just makes other parents be laissez-faire parents and just do whatever the kid wants them to do. And I go back to the transgender movement. Like, how many children, I'm talking like 6, 7, 8 years old, or like quote unquote trans now, or like non-binary pansexual muppets, or like identify as hamsters. If you have good parents, That doesn't happen. The left and their ideology is ruining America. And this is another example of America being ruined by that foundation of thinking. It's all in the same pot. The it's all it's all making parents bad parents because it's letting parents off the hook. Well, I'm just doing what my kid wants to do. Like, if my kid really feels that, race is an issue like this, then we have to let him express himself. This is ridiculous. How politicians are blaming video games. Politicians are blaming Twitch. The governor of New York is blaming Twitch for this. What about the two people who raised this guy? Huh? I think the two people who raised Peyton are more responsible for Twitch, a hot tub streamer platform. You gotta be kidding me. If video games were just less realistic, if video games didn't look like real life, this kid wouldn't have done that. Yeah, I don't think so. Now, I don't play a lot of Call of Duty. I guess that's a realistic one. But, I have a few times. I played many first person shooters in my days. I've never played an FPS game and then thought about, man, I could sure do this in real life. I've never thought that. You know why? Because I'm a sane person. I can tell video games from real life. And basically what the senator is trying to say is video games brainwash you. If that's the case, there would have been hundreds of kids who would have died from jumping off a building because they were playing Super Mario Brothers. So no, video games do not influence people. You take the two incidents that have happened where a person said it was because of video games. There was one kid in it doesn't matter where, but there's one kid who went to a park and shot some people because he did it on Grand Theft Auto, and there was this a group of girls who stabbed their friend because they wanted to meet Slender Man. So out of the millions of crimes that have ever happened, of assault crimes, whatever, murder crimes, two of them were supposedly the person said it was influenced because they played a video game. But what did those two crimes have in common? The people who committed the crime were stupid. They they were low IQ children with no parental supervision. So once again, it's the parents' fault. If you're a child and you think a video game's real, that's your parents' fault. Once again, the blame goes back to the parents. If you have a child who plays Grand Theft Auto and then goes to the park and shoots up some people, it's the parents' fault because you raised a child who apparently can't tell real life from fiction. It's like having a kid who I don't know, read a Superman comic and thinks, oh, I could do that, so they jump out a window because they think they can fly. That's the parents' fault for not showing the kid reality in like comic book superpower crap that's fake. This is why you can't really do this, because this is just a story. It's not based on reality. When are we going to start blaming the people who are causing these problems? Parents, and obviously just the people who commit the crime. That's it. That's it. It's just the parents and the person who did it. It's not gun laws. If you want, if you're a quote unquote bad guy, you can get a gun. If that kid could not purchase a gun legally like he did, he would have still got a gun. He would have still got a gun. There's there's plenty of ways to get a gun. Plenty of ways. And the problem is, anytime there's a tragedy, what do politicians do? They just they just find some talking points to get themselves some attention so they could be interviewed on a news station, so they can make sure they get their votes, secure votes for next election. The governor of New York is blaming Twitch. You guys need to. I don't know if you can impeach a governor, but you need to get rid of her ass. Like sometimes you just have to shut up. Sometimes you just have to shut up. Like, you don't always have to say something when something happens. The only thing the governor had to do was blame the shooter himself, blame the parents, and if you want to do some talking points, talk about how we have to raise our children better. We have to pay attention to our children. That's all you had to do. Now you just come off as stupid. You're blaming a hot tub streaming service, a softcore porn streaming service, because that's what Twitch is, overshooting. You look stupid. You look stupid. Anyone who is blaming video games over this is stupid. You're just taking away, like, let's talk about the real issues. Let's talk about real social issues. Right now, Elden Ring is like the biggest video game on the planet. I don't I don't think anyone is gonna dress up like Let Me Solo Her, walk outside with two katana blades and a pot on their head, and go on a mass killing spree. I just don't picture that. I don't picture someone, you know, buying a great axe, putting on samurai gear, and going to the supermarket and doing a mass, whatever, stabbing. I just don't see it happening. Because if video games really did influence people like this, there would be 20 Elden Ring type mass, whatever sword slayings already. If video games really did influence, people to do crimes, like, life would be a lot different, trust me. You wouldn't even be able to go outside. Like God of War was a really popular video game. I've never heard of one mass shooting of a guy wearing a bear fur coat with a bow and arrow. I've just it just because games don't do that to people. Anytime something happens, the real issue is brushed aside and something bullshit becomes the focus. That's why things don't change. Or if they do, they change for the worse, because the real problem is is hidden because some idiot with a following, like a governor or senator, makes some non-issue the issue. And because I guess the average American is stupid, they just go along with it. We have to blame the parents. I shouldn't know Peyton Gendron's name. I shouldn't know his name. I should know his parents' name. That's whose name I should know. Peyton Gendron is a product of two horrible human beings who raised him in a way where he thought it was okay to go on a racially motivated mass shooting. Why do we know Peyton's name? We should know his parents' name. His parents' name should be plastered all over the news, and the media should be talking about them. What did these two people do to raise a kid like this? That's that's the only question. That is the only issue that should be an issue. Who are the people who raised Peyton Gendron? Who are the two people who made this monster? I want to live in a society where, first of all, this never happens. But if it does happen, we don't even know the shooter's name. We know the parent's name, and we find out why these two bottom of the barrel garbage human beings raised a monster. I've said enough. Anyway, you guys have a good one. I'll talk to you later. Peace.